And we should be live. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another continuation of the Subway Surfer. Today, I finally got some assets. Actually, I had them like the week before, but didn't find them in my mail. So today, I opened up my mail, look up through all of the emails I've got, and one of my friend made us some art. So we're gonna be using this art there. We're gonna be importing it. Like the title of the game says, actually, the name of the game. We're using a hard style that is around pirates and ocean and all that kind of stuff. It's not like subway surfing. It's not going to be like in some urban area. It's going to be on the sea. There's going to be a boat. So let's have a look at what he gave to us. So I have, let me just pull that real quick in the project. There is two things. There is one object and also one texture. So very optimal way of doing things. Everything should be in here, I believe. And this is the texture, so that's a whole atlas. There's my logo for some reason. Okay, cool. So we're going to be using this. Let's try and import it in the game. And I'm also going to pull the chat at the same time. I haven't thought about that. But I'll try to focus more on the game. I want to get this game like at least past the first part, so we can start making the real tutorial about it. But hey, gotta read the chat at the same time. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We have a bunch of stuff. So that's our boat. That's going to be our player. We have, let's see. Those are sticks. They're going to be standing out, like standing out of the sea. So if you run into those, you're dead. Cannons, barrels, and some rocks. Cool. So we're going to be using all of these. I'm going to be renaming it and making prefabs. So this is going to be cannon, barrel. I don't really have a name for that. I really like the asset. I just don't really know how we should call this. Let's just call it sticks. That's the worst name. And that's the player right here. So the Polysurface 2 is going to be the player. So you can tell this has been made in Blender because of the names. And P-sphere is going to be single rock. So that's a rock. And that is a set of rock. Rock bundle. Alright. Let me quickly pull the chat. Oh, and also, let me drop a message real quick in Discord. We're always on Discord when we stream. So if you guys want to tag along, here, streaming. Boom. Hey, what's going on, guys? Is the stream started? I think it should be started. If you don't see it, then it's pointless to tell me that you don't see it. Let's see if I can get a link for that. I still haven't figured out the whole streaming thing. Hey, what's up, Steen? How you guys doing this morning? In this wonderful Saturday morning, even though I know that for most of you guys, it's not morning at all. Alright. So, let's go right back into the game. We're gonna create a material for that. So I'm going to create a new material. And it's gonna be Atlas 1. I like to call these Atlas because they have multiple texture for multiple object, basically. And let's drop that on here. And it should fit every single object. So there we go. So we have our boat, couple assets, and I'm going to be saving all of them in prefab one by one. Well, if I make the screen small in tablet, I cannot see the stream. That's just a YouTube bug, to be honest. Hey, Ken, I'm not able to help you right now. We're working a little bit on the Subway Surfer, but if you want some help, you can tune in the programming help on Discord. So we already had some prefab in here for the test meshes that we've used in the gym. I'm going to be putting those in another folder. Let's call these sets. Well, Xenol, the cool thing about what this guy did is that he put everything on a single texture. So whenever you're running the game, all you need to do is load in that. Right now it's a 2048 by 2048, but if you want, you can downscale it and it's still going to look good. What this does is that when you're running a game, say on a mobile device, and you only have one texture loaded, it's crazy optimal. And all of these objects, they all use the same texture. They just map UVs at different places. So you can tell that this is the flag, this is the rocks, that's the barrel, but they're all on a single texture. This is what everybody should be doing all the time. So you don't end up loading like 5 different texture in your buffer and have to put it on 5 different objects. Okay, so we have these. Barrel, cannon, sticks. That's our player, rock, and rock bundle. It's gonna start looking a little bit more like a game. How are these assets related with Subway Surfer? They're not, well, I mean, they're related to Subway Surfer, they're not the same thing, because why would we make the same thing? That's just boring. Drinking a good old chocolate in this morning, hot chocolate. So, I'm gonna head back in the other scene and find my player. This is our player right here. He has a character controller on it and a player motor. What I'll be doing is I'll actually drag and drop my ship, and we're gonna have to scale it up properly. Well, at least just to scale it up like the other one was. So I'll be downscaling it a bit. Also change the orientation of it. There we go, put it right in the center. You can actually do that by adding package tag. I think they do have something automatic like that, like adding a package. That would be so cool. I've never actually used it. Hey, Demi's watching us while doing some sprites. That's cool. Keep on doing your art. At one point, I'll be able to do art too, and I can do art on stream. That would be amazing. So that's gonna be our player. I'm feeling that it should be a little bit smaller so we can actually see what's going on. There is some things that are gonna be hard to do, like making this thing slide. That's gonna be quite hard, but we'll figure it out. There we go. So just a little bit of offset mistake here on the object, but we end up with something like this, and we need to add the same exact component we had on the player, so that's the character controller and also the player motor. So there is some glitches going on here. We're gonna have to fix this. So the center of this object looks a little bit off balance. What I feel like doing right here is I'll actually put the player under another object. So I'll be creating an empty. This is going to be my player container, and this is going to be the mesh only. So my logic can actually work on a very clean object, while my mesh is just for displaying purpose. Alright, so something like this. Hey, may I ask how the Age project is going? The Age project is on hold for quite a long time, actually. It's been on hold for quite a long time. I haven't really found any time to put in it. And also, I think the whole motivation kind of died down when I figured out that we didn't have the proper back end. And when I wanted to do the back end again, everything just got, like, the whole team collapsed, so not really working on Age, to be honest, right now. I wish I could actually boot it back up. I know that George would be quite happy about it too, but it's a lot of people management, which I suck at. I really don't, I'm not good at managing people and telling them what to do, especially when I'm dealing with younger people. But hey, it's still there. So here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of the old player, this one. Now we can only work with the boat. But the boat needs to have little bit of a bigger radius. So maybe something like that. And also play with the offset. And we're gonna be putting this thing, the collider, in front of it, like that. We don't really need to have any collision in the back, to be honest. Am I planning to add a human character to have Mechanium animation on it? I didn't actually think about that, but no, we're going with the boat. We can actually do animation on a boat too, just they're not gonna be as fun to look at. Hmm. Troy just released a pirate game at work. It's that time of the year where pirate become popular again. And there's also, I think there's gonna be a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, if I'm wrong. Here it is. Is that it? Yeah, that's Dead Man Tells No Tale. Dead Man No Tale, something like that. I don't know. In French, it's a whole different name. Screen first, 24th May in France. So that's in 2 weeks. We're all about doing pirate stuff right now. Maybe next time make it like, okay, yeah. For the Age project, there should have been more requirement, but it's mostly something about. I mean, the game didn't have any budget. Well, they kind of did, but it didn't at the same time. I mean, it has to be on a contribution basis, and I'm not too big at telling people what to do when they're not being paid so much. So it's just, I don't know, it's a position I didn't like to be in. Alright, so where are we right now? Were we moving our player? Okay, yeah, so we were moving our player, but there's something quite weird about this thing. Oh, it was just stuck in the floor. Okay. What if I pull it up a little bit? Hmm. It still happens. That's that's weird. It's just plain weird. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I still have my I'm gonna turn off my Facebook. My objective for today is just to have all the assets integrated and start having some objects spawn. So I'm actually going to remove that, create a new level manager in here, and actually start spawning stuff like we did last week in the gym. However, this time we're not in the gym anymore. We are in the real scene. So we had a level manager script, I believe. Here it is, and there was some pieces in it. Actually, we only had 3 pieces. I'll be dragging them right in here, like so. and they should be spawning automatically. Oh, and we also decided that the level would move, right? Why haven't you I did post something on Discord. I even used the tag to annoy everybody here. So Zoom, you are wrong. I did post something on Discord. Okay, so we end up with something like this. Right now it's obviously disgusting because few things. There is a nasty bug where it doesn't look good when we're just moving around, so we're gonna have to fix that first and then fix the laning in here so it's actually, it doesn't, you know, it has enough spaces if we move left and right, like right here. Oh, that was clutch. But yeah, let's actually find out why it's messy like that. I have an idea actually. I think it is because we are moving based on a move towards. Okay, so this contains a good X. That's a lie. It's not actually, it doesn't contain a good X at all. This algorithm has to be a little bit more complex than that. So let's have a look, right? Assuming that we are in the center, our target position is on the right. Okay, let's go with that. We're gonna have to determine which direction are we going in first. Are we going right or are we going left? This is only using the x-axis. So I'll get rid of that. And I'll try to document. Find out which direction we go. Yeah, that flicker looks weird. We're getting rid of it right now, actually. Hey, what's up, Solo Sage? How you guys are doing this morning? Okay, so to find out which direction we go, we're going to be using transform position.x. Actually, we'll be using target position.x minus the transform. So this way we're going to end up with a float value that we're just going to call direction. Now, if this is positive, so if direction is bigger, or should we do bigger? Actually, let's do. If direction is equal to 0, that's fine. We don't do anything. Else, don't do anything. We're Gucci. Else, if direction is bigger than 0, that means we're in the positive axis, and that also means we're going towards the right. So, going towards the right. In which world do I live? It's like 4:47. I live in Canada, the land of the Queen. Now if direction is smaller, that means we're going towards the left. Yeah, no, move towards isn't a good way to go about it. So we're going to be using just direction like that. And I think like I'll be using the same exact line right here. Oh, that's actually a bad way to go about it. No, it's not a lerp, it's just simple. Like we took the direction and then we went into that direction at full speed, which is kind of stupid. Also, this is not really, this is kind of stupid. Let me just put that like this. There we go. So we're going towards the right, and let's say if transform the position.x plus position.x goes beyond target position.x, then we need to actually clamp it back. So how do we go about clamping it back? We get the position, we get the absolute. Yeah, we could do that. Position x is equal to matf absolute in between target position.x and transform position.x. Okay, so this sounds a little bit complicated, but hey, we'll try this. It should only work on the right hand side, so when we're going right. So if we go left right now, it's gonna be glitchy. If we go right, still is glitchy, and we get this annoying thing where we just fell off the HUD. That's plain weird. It's like those little function which should take me like 5 seconds to fix, but I'm kinda concentrating on other things at the same time. We'll do a vector 3 distance on this thing. Or no, we can't do a distance, that's only float. If vector 3 distance transformed to position is smaller than 0, yeah, we could do something like that, but I think that's kinda, how to say, it's kinda bad, I guess. Yeah, if we do transform position is equal to target pause, and we're just snapping to it, and snapping to it instantly isn't really good. And I'm really tired of hearing this goddamn helicopter fly over my house. Sorry. We're currently working on this Subway Surfer thing, but currently struggling on a simple bug that makes it look so glitchy. Oh, we still had this line down here. This is not supposed to be there at all. Okay. Maybe that's just me, like, not paying enough attention. Let's have a look now, once with the actual fix we've did. So if we go left, it should be glitchy. If we go right, it should be a little bit better. Actually, we can't go left right now. We have to take this and copy it. Yeah, we could have a bunch of debug.log in here. And you know what? I'm actually going to get rid of the level manager while we fix this. Just put it normal plane. Here we go. That's better. Whoa. Where is he going? What the hell? What the hell was that? That is plain weird. I'm going to get rid of everything. Go back to the code we had. Position x is equal to target position minus, okay, normalized speed. Yeah, mathematics are too strong this morning. If direction x, let's say we're gonna be transform, okay, is equal to the target position dot x minus transform the position dot x. So that gives us the direction we go in. We only have to look at whether this is -1, well, not -1, but you know, below 0, 0, or above 0. So left, nothing, or right. Now based on this, we can move towards a direction, any direction really, and then go for speed. Now let's assume that once we move, after we moved, let's actually do that after we move. Clamp our player's position. So if direction x was smaller than 0, then we have to look if we're beyond, if we're towards the left of our target position. So if transform.position.x is smaller than target.position.x, okay, then in that case we'll do transform the position is equal to new transform dot position, actually target position.x, and then transform position.y, and transform position.z. Okay, so that's gonna do the work, but it's something I have to fix later on because that's disgusting. Disgusting code right here. We'll do the same thing right here. If transform position.x is bigger than target transform, then we do that. Let's give it a look. Hey, it's ugly in the code, but it works in the game, so quality right there. Alright, so that's a little bit better. At least it's fixed for now, but we're gonna have to reiterate on that because it looks awful in the code. Always gotta specify. Alright, so I think we can start working on the assets a little bit, the sets that we're walking through, because right now this is a really boring game. Oh, we can also jump. Forget about that. It's gonna be quite hard to make this believable, like in the game. Believable in the game. Like my boat can jump, but we'll deal with it. You thought it looked okay? Well, see, the reason I say it doesn't look good to me is because we're doing something after moving. Like we're moving right here, right? We do a controller that move, but then after that, we are still changing the position. So this is why I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, in that, I mean, it's not that bad, but it could be a lot better, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I would not want to see, like, I don't want to have, like, any coworker look at this code and be like, you know, they're going to be disappointed if they look at this. Even though we're not really doing Unity at the job, but hey. Anyway. We are currently gonna go work on some assets. So we have we have these, but these are quite boring to be honest. I'm gonna head over to the gym scene. Yep, in the gym scene. And we'll start actually laying down some real sets. Maybe dash instead of jump. Yeah, we could do a dash and smash objects. That could be fun. You have a really good point. But I feel like people are gonna be pissed because I'm saying that I'm actually gonna be like copying a little bit of the Subway Surfer stuff, and jump is a big part of that game. If we do some like dashes, I'm scared that like as the game progresses, the speed goes faster and faster. I'm scared that the dash is gonna take you beyond certain limit. It's gonna be a little bit weird. Yeah, I mean, we can do something like a dolphin. Your boat has cannons on the bottom that are blasting it up. You see, that's a good point. Okay, we're doing jump. we're doing jump using this thing. So we're gonna have cannons on each side, and yeah, that's good. That's just gonna make the boat fly, obviously. Good point. Click Point Games has some good point. This is exactly what we're doing right here. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk with my artist and be like, we need some Gucci animation here. Gonna make this boat jump. All right, so we're missing water. Like, we're missing water, I think. What I actually did like earlier is that I've created this thing right here where the player has to walk on it and he falls off, but we're not really falling off. Even in Subway Surfer, we're not really falling off. Falling off is boring. We have gravity, we know it works. Let's just make sure that all the pieces are tall enough, like they're big enough so we're never falling, since what's the point of falling? Hey Nelson, long time no speak. Glad you tuned in the stream. Yeah, see, you all have some very good points right here. We can actually animate this thing in the editor if we have to. Like if we don't have any animation, that's fine. Just animate this thing so we go up. At the same time we do the rotation. Oh, like I was only gonna do like this axis right here, but we can do like a 360 flip like that and then land right on it. And you know what, guys? We're gonna do it. Alright, let's start pulling down the animation list. This is something I never do, to be honest. I never do animation. But we'll have to figure this thing out. So, animations. Right. Going to create a animation clip. And we'll call this one idle. Or you know what? Player idle. I feel like I feel like I'm actually gonna be spending time on something that is gonna be super disgusting. But we'll give it a try, right? We'll give it a try. My console is now the animation window. Sweet. Okay, so how could we go about doing an idle? Let's have an animation that is, say, 2 seconds long, I think could be good. We're gonna be animating the transform, mostly just rotation. Yeah, we're not gonna be moving the position. That's gonna mess up our thing. Hi, I'm watching this on a 128 kbps net because my mobile data is over. That sucks. That sucks, man. Okay, so let's have a look at this. 2 seconds and the boat can go a little bit forward like this, I guess. That could be the animation on idle. Play. I didn't save. I'm very good at this. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, I moved the position. No, I don't want that. What is going on? Can I use the curves instead? Please? I shouldn't be using this. I'll be using the player prefab instead. Oh, there we go. This is more clean. Quality right there. We'll do player idle, and I'll just remove this one. There we go. Add property, we're going for the rotation only. And after 1 minute 30 seconds, the boat's gonna be tilted a little bit forward. Sorry, not 1 minute, but like 1 second. And then at 3 seconds, it's gonna be tilted backward. Okay, for some it moves my position as well. I really don't like that. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Oh, I think it does have to move it because our pivot point is messed up. Okay, let's have a look. That's not what I did, like, at all. If there's like some of you that do animation on Unity all the time, you must be laughing at me right now. I literally don't know what I'm doing. Okay, how do I save this? Let's save this. Hey, that's actually not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's go and just say that. So we have our graph, right? I'm going to hit play on loop. Yep, that's gonna be our idle animation once I fix it. That's the first Unity live stream you've seen on YouTube. Me too. Me too, actually. Unity is a lot. I don't think it's the best thing to watch, but I really like the people I hang out with on YouTube, so decided I'll be live streaming a bit. Let's do free smooth. Can we do free smooth flat? Yeah, let's do flat, and here is gonna be flat as well. Oh, that doesn't work. Oops. Right tangent, linear, nope. Right tangent free, nope. Oh, okay, now I'm just messing up everything. Oh, there has to be a way to make this better. Yeah, for idle I can move it up and down. That's what I tried to do, but for some reason I'm also moving the position, which is kind of annoying. You know what? Let's give it another shot real quick. That is my starting position. Okay, that's cool. Starting position is fine. Now on this right here, I want to add a new keyframe. How do I go about doing this? It's so easy in video editing software, but in this thing, I feel like I'm struggling. Okay, this is good. There we go. We made it. That's a little animation right there. Now on 3 seconds, we'll do it on the other side like that. And now finally we have to take all these values, put them back right here. That's what I messed up last time. Let's play this. Okay, it's actually gonna do the work. This is gonna do work. Now how do I make them a little bit closer? Like this. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Animation is gonna be 2 seconds in the end. 2 seconds 30. Something like that. Now we smooth it out and we should be good. Oh, it's actually smoothed out already. Oh, no, not right here. Okay. So we're gonna make sure that these one are actually in sync. What if we do linear like that? That's smooth. That is smooth. This could be like this, say. See, that's also very smooth now. Now we need this one. There we go. Save everything. We've got our very first animation. Hey boy. Quality. The rotation might be a little bit too intense. I don't know which one it is. It's rotation Z, so that's the blue curve. What if we just bring it down like that? I see, I know how to animate now. It's super easy. This is how we do it, boys. We animate like this. Okay, let's save this thing. It's good enough for me. Can I explain animation curve? I wish I could explain it. But look, well, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory to be honest. Just look, that's the time frame from left to right, and now you have to look at your values. So I was looking at rotation Z, and if you tell right here, that's you know, that's the cyan color, and I really don't know how to explain. It's just your value should be here at this point in time. If you want to just like, say we go in under position, we find the position in Y, we know that position in Y is the green one, we can actually make this thing go up super fast if we bring up, say, this handle. There you go. Gives a big bump. So we have our jump, kind of. It's really just where your value is going to be at that very moment. And now I broke it, and I don't know how to fix it. Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay, so that wasn't what we were supposed to do. That's our idle. Our idle is supposed to be boring. We need to create a new clip. Let's do player jump, and this one's gonna be cool. This one has to be cool. No, the ship isn't really chasing you. We are the ship. We can get chased by some kind of whale, or like Tushar said, like a kraken. Hey Jack, I tried my best to explain you curves, but I think they're quite just if you just like put one down on say position and you play around with it, you're gonna learn much faster than if I try to give you explanation. Okay, so we're doing the jump. We're gonna be using the player rotation. We're also gonna be using the position. Actually, position is wrong because we're moving the position in the code, so technically we shouldn't be moving the position. Warsi Brother YouTube said, oh, that's how you do buoyancy. I'll be honest with you, I'll need to go Google what buoyancy means. Oh, no, I still don't know what it is. It's like when you're floating, right? Okay, I get it now. Hey, we're learning every day. Thank you for leaving that comments. We've got some weird question in this chat this morning. Elijah says, a plane crash on the border between US and Canada. Where would you bury the survivors? I'm not even gonna answer that. I'm so sorry. Okay, back to making our jump. That's cool. How long is the jump supposed to take? It should not be that long, like 1 second. It might be a little bit too much actually. So we're gonna go at the very beginning, set some keyframes. Do we have any keyframes? We do. Okay, that's cool. And by the end of the jump, we need to be back on the initial position. We could make him jump with a whale squirting water up and pushing. Yeah, that could be a good idea as well. But I like the cannon one, like you're just shooting cannons downward, which gives you a boost. You could also do that. Okay, so by halfway, when we're halfway through the animation, our boat has to be doing a full 360 rotation. So, oh, actually, can we just get rid of this? Whoops, don't get rid of the boat. Get rid of this line and actually do the 360 right here. I'm wondering if we can just like pump it up. Minus 360, let's go. We yeah, exactly, don't bury survivors. That's a good one. We have problems with our pivot point. I think that's gonna be like a real pain. What if we actually get rid of the position updates? So here they are. I guess that doesn't do anything. What if I get rid of this one? Also doesn't do anything. Okay, so it's all about, we're gonna have to keep this object like right in the center. That's gonna be hard to do actually. Yeah, changing the position in the animator will override the values of the code. So what you want to be doing right here is you want to have your player, like I had mine. You want to have like an object on top of your player, and you move that object instead. And when you have to animate, you change the local position of the object beneath it. This way your thing can still move and Yeah, that's it. So your thing can still move, and all the animation are stored in the children. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be quite hard to do because our pivot point's a little bit messed up. So assuming that I do a 360, it's actually gonna go all over that place. Do I have to fix it? Do I have to? I could technically just go like, say, right here and then pull it back towards the center. Where was the center actually? Okay, so it's right there. It's gonna be a little bit too weird, to be honest. You know what? We're just gonna start with the idle. And then we'll move on to making this jump. So I'll get rid of the jump. And we have player 1. Which one is a good one? We have our 2 animations right here. Okay. Player has a animator, or sorry, does it have an animator? No, it has a controller. There it is. And that controller is player 1. Now if we hit play, like we're actually playing the game, it's actually playing idle, so that's what we want. Now if I go and I hit apply on this thing, it should affect our real player, which is in the other scene actually. So let's open up the other scene, and hopefully we haven't broken anything. That would be so cool. We did break something. We broke a lot of things actually. Look at this thing. What is it doing right here? Put ship on the empty game object. Yep. We have to do that. Have you made a project that includes networking multiplayer? Yeah, we've done the checkers, but we're working on another multiplayer thing that is going to be a lot more fun. Check this out, guys. We're going to have another layer of this thing. This one's going to contain the animator on it. If that makes any sense. I don't think it does actually, but hey, it's too late now. It is too late. We're trying stuff out because I suck at art. It's actually a lot closer than what I thought it would be. Okay, so that's our mesh. Our mesh is supposed to be here, that's fine. Now on top of this we have the character controller, which is also good. And this one is the one that moves. We have a ghost ship, guys. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do at first. Like, we only need to rotate and stop the rotation. Let's try this out now that we are on a proper object. Let's get rid of all the position update in here. Cool. Press save. Oh, there you go. You've got the fix. Thank you so much for that comment. Even though I'm pretty sure I actually rotated on the other side, so I was rotating like this before. But this is also, actually this looks a little bit better, to be honest. Like a real ship. Okay, so we're going to be keeping this. And from now on, our animation are going to be based off the player container. I believe that we can now go ahead and animate like we wanted to. Yeah, this is Subway Surfer version ship, because that's how hardcore we are. We're making Subway Surfer with ships. That's just how it is, guys. Alright, So, now we can actually go ahead and make something that's stupid. So we player jump. We're gonna be adding the rotation property only. Like we're moving through code, so we don't want to have any other thing that changes the position. Good point, by the way. Boom. Now 360 on the z-axis, that's not gonna work. 360 on the y-axis, is that going to work? Nope. On the x-axis, let's go, boys. Alright, this is our jump right there. It needs some more love, of course, but that could be our jump. Now, I haven't really animated too much in Mechanim, but we'll give it a try. I think I'll be using the any state for everything. So any state goes towards idle, any state goes toward jump, and the N3 can go right there, don't care. Alright. So for our transition purpose, I think we're going to be using simple triggers. Like I said, I still don't know I still don't know what I'm doing with the animations. I'll figure it out eventually. But I'll be using triggers. I'll be using a idle trigger and also a jump trigger. That is all we need at the moment. Hello from India. A lot of people are from India in the stream. I salute you all. And that is jump. Alright, cool. So now if we head back to our code, I'm gonna try and remember how to go and do this. In my player motor, I'll go up, do something like private animator, and this is gonna be anim. In my start, I'll get this component, so player get component animator, and from here I can set triggers. So when we jump right here, we do a jump force. Anim set trigger. Yes, I remember how it works. Amazing. Jump. Now it's gonna jump once. Actually, it's gonna jump all the time. Let's do one jump and then you go back to idle. That sounds fair. I think that's how it works. I still don't know. Let's play this. We'll have a look. So it's playing idle, right? Simple idle. Now I jump. Oh, there is no animator on the player. That's what it says. That is quite true, actually. Our animator is not on the player. It's on the object beneath. So let's go here, cheat a little bit. Get component in children, animator. This is so stupid. This is plain stupid. But it works. That's we can make the curves a little bit more fun to watch. We can do something with this. Anyway, I feel like it needs like another axis. We should do like a angle front flipped. Whoops. Hi from Russia. Hi from Mars. From Arabia, Brazil, Denmark, all places I need to go. Hey, how is the Age project going? How is the Age project? Wait, hi from buttfuck North Carolina. Nice. The Age project is currently like on a hold. I don't want to say it's dead because there's potential that it starts back up, but right now, it's currently on hold because of the backend. We have backend issues. I'm actually learning a lot of stuff about backend, and I don't want to get involved in the project until I know exactly what I'm getting into. And also we need a better team around it, just older people. But yeah, the H project is currently on hold. In terms of collaboration with Freedom, I'm actually making tools. I'm actually trying to make some tools for them. It's something that I don't really talk too much about, but there is one tool I want to make that helps you with your YouTube channel. So like optimize your YouTube channel, It has some good functionalities such as changing all description at once, and also making sure that all your video have proper tags, all that kind of stuff. But I feel that's I feel that is how I can contribute to freedom. Bro, you should make this AR slap on the Vuforia cam. I mean, I don't think the camera is good. I mean, I don't think the CPU on any machine is good enough to like generate obstacle as you walk. It could be actually, if you don't move too much in real life. You should make different jumps with different axis value and make it random. That's actually a good point. Brings me to my old days playing Night Elves in World of Warcraft, and then you would spam jump because sometime your character would like do a front flip. Sometimes it would just do like the boring jump, but sometimes it would do a front flip, so you'd be sitting there spamming jumps. Time well spent. So let's actually should we you know what? I'm going to scrap the whole animation for now. We're gonna make more later, that's fine. But we need to start laying down some pieces of lands. Let's say we go under sets and change these sets we have. Boom. Deleted all of them. I'm going to go right into the gym and we need some water. How do we actually go and find water? I can find some water on the asset store, but that's not gonna work in the end, because I need to be able to share this with you, and if we take something from the asset store, I can't share it anymore. We're gonna go with a plane, and we're not gonna ride the shader today, but hey. Combo jump. Third jump does a flip. That could be super cool, just like in Super Mario 64. Let's create a new folder actually. I'm going to call it artwork. And under this, I'll be saving some materials. In my materials, there is going to be the water. Or the ocean, whatever. Yeah, no, the Unity built-in water is not pro. Well, it's not anymore. It used to be pro only, but I think it's gonna look too realistic for what we're trying to achieve. I feel like we could just create something like super fast that does a almost better job. Let's go in Photoshop real quick. I'll show you some of my art skills. Yeah, there's water in sender asset, but we can't use it, guys. I'm so sorry, we can't. 256 times 2, 512. Okay, I'm not stupid. It's gonna take a second, I promise. So what color could be our water? We'll go with something like that for now. I have to think. I want to be scrolling this thing, so if I want to be scrolling this thing... Hey, by the way guys, this is not going to be the final product of the water. It's just something that we can look at during production and be like, oh yeah, that's water. It's just really bad. Bad looking. Are we ready for this, guys? This is going to be the best water you've seen in a long time. Boom. I'm gonna get you banned if you keep speaking in the chat. Let's make this seamless. Now, how do we go about making this seamless? I think we do a other offset, and then you offset it by half the size, so 256. And we just have to fix this. Okay, cool. That's gonna be our water. A lot of love has to be put in this to make it look good, but we can do it. I believe in us. There we go. This is much better. This is the water we've been waiting for all this time. Yeah, it looks like water in Wind Waker. Wind Waker is like my main reference every time somebody, like, if somebody asks me what kind of art do you like, I just go like, oh, just put some Wind Waker stuff in there. Wind Waker is the best game. Well, I don't think it's the best game, but like visually, I love it so much. It's like super good. See, that's best. You see all the amount of details I just put in here? It's a mountain. Are you kidding me? Does that look like? Actually, it does look like a mountain. I'll do something a little bit more. I'll add some gradient color in here. You won't even notice it. It's gonna be so subtle. There you go. Doesn't look like a mountain anymore, kind of. It still looks quite awful. I'll get through it, guys. There we go. The funny thing is, I'm gonna make a way, like I'm eventually gonna find a way to make this look good. And you're all gonna be surprised by the result. So I'll be taking the same color, maybe put it a little bit darker. Cannot use paint bucket. Okay then. What if I take all of this? And then we do a gradient with this other color. And don't worry guys, I'm not gonna be an artist for long. Nobody wants me to be an artist. So sad. Oh, there we go. This is what I needed right here. Cool. Oh, I inverted those color. What if I go like this, then back on the gradient, and I can actually swap those around? Okay. I got it now. Easy stuff. Art is easy stuff. There we go. Now if we try an offset on this thing. So filter, offset. Oops. We have to fix nothing actually. Okay, that's cool. Now offset in the other axis. 256. Oh, it's actually only... It was not offsetting the right stuff. My bad. Yeah, no, there is some big issues in here. There we go. Nobody's gonna notice. Nobody's going to notice. Hello from Paraguay. So many people in here this morning, guys. What are you guys up to this morning? I'm trying to do art. That's what I'm up to. It's not very good, but hey, I'm trying. Okay, so 256 on this thing, and look, it looks seamless. Amazing texture right there. Could not have asked for better. Now with this thing, I am going to save it, put it somewhere in my folder. Where is Alfred? I don't remember where I put this thing. Pirate runs. Here it is. Nice. Asset. This is part of artwork. Water.png. Quality name right there. And we can put that water.png, and we end up with some amazing result like this. Get rid of the lighting. We don't need lighting in this scene. We don't need lighting because everything is going to be hand painted with shadow on it. So it also means that all our shader are going to be either unlit or toon shaded later on. Toon shaded is the way to go, to be honest, but it's going to take a little bit of time. Hey, have you seen this amazing water? You can actually skate it up on both sides. Wow, you would like take notes, guys. Take notes. Gotta learn from the best, you know. This is what I call art. Let's just imagine when we have like our bump shaders on it, it's gonna be flawless, perfect. But hey, to be back on a serious note, it's gonna be doing the job for what we need at the moment. Okay, so back on what we need actually. Let's lay down a plane, a single plane. Add the material to it. Let me just store everything back in the proper place. There we go. And the gym goes in scenes. Okay, so that material is in here. Cool. Texture is going to be out. Now we put that on this thing. And we need to rotate it towards this axis. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I know, you're right? That's the best part. As long as it's seamless, that's all we need. This is kind of stupid. Okay. How do we go about scrolling that texture? I like to actually scroll it. So when you're playing the game, we have an offset. Like, we can have an offset like this, but also have an offset like that. Yeah, by animating the water, if you just like this is good enough for animation right now, but later on we can add like a proper shader. Oh, sorry. I always mute my mic every time I do something weird, so sorry about that. My bad. Yeah, so I was just saying that we're making a shader right now. We're not making the shader. We're just setting the offset of the texture based on underscore main text. Now somebody pointed out that it's actually underscore main text, and I was gonna go for something like main texture. Don't get fooled. It's actually main text for everyone that is for every shader that is from Unity. You can actually change it yourself if you are to write your shader. Yeah, I'm sorry, I mute my mic all the time. That's just something I do. Just not to annoy you while having those I'm having some morning burps when I drink this thing. That was my hot chocolate. I totally dropped coffee actually. Like no more coffee, so I'm on things like that once in a while when I'm streaming is good. Okay, so vector 2 value, I was actually trying to do something here, so what is it? We have to take the water, get texture, is that it? Offset, I need to get, okay, get texture offset. Now, is this a name? That's a string name. Okay, so we get the offset of main text plus, let's do new vector 3 or new vector 2, and we go say 0.01 in x just to give it like a small movement in x, and we'll do something like 0.1 in y. Hopefully this is gonna work. I'm not sure if it is. We'll find out in a second actually. So where is my material? Here it is. We're gonna put that right there and see if it crashes. It's not crashing. What's happening actually? It's also not changing the offset. Oh, we got a no reference actually. Yeah, that's because of the level manager. That's another thing. Going to be creating a empty game object. Let's call it set1. You never really understood shader. Soon guys, I'm working on a tutorial for shaders, like starting from scratch. The syntax is gonna be hard to pick up, but then afterward, once you understand how the shader is split in two, where you have like a part that modifies where the vertex are and a part that just puts color on it. Once you can split those two and actually work with at least one of them, you're gonna have a lot of fun doing texture, or not texture, but shaders. I remember I have like videos of me trying out shaders back in the days. If I just look at them real quick, give me seconds. I actually logged out my YouTube channel. I hope it doesn't crash anything. We'll find out. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at this thing right here. It's my personal YouTube channel, which I don't do anything interesting, so you guys don't really have to look. There it is. This is something I did back in the days when I was just trying out shaders, and the quality is awful. Why is it that awful? But I wanted to create some kind of bumps that would change the world around you. So you would give like a position in the world, and all around you would change to another texture. So I had like two texture in here. Well, only one in this case, but I made it so I could have like two different texture. So say you're like in the spring season, and then you hit like some kind of power up that transfer you in the winter season. You'd go from the spring texture to the winter texture, and you also had like this kind of little bump here that was fun to play with. Stuff like that, I'm going to be showing it on the channel quite soon actually. Oh, I'm unable to connect to chat. I broke everything. Let me just fix this real quick. Okay, I'm back. I can see the chat now. What amazed me is the fact that you can work without looking at the references. I mean, I have my other screen on the side. Sometimes I do look at stuff, you just don't really see it. But those are things I've already done in the past. Like right now, I just tried modifying the offset of this thing. For some reason, I can't do it with this line of code. Technically, that works in my head. You get the current offset and you just add to it. But it definitely didn't work now, so we'll have to do a little bit of debug.log. Let's do water, get texture offset, and we'll get the offset that is for the main texture. And we'll just look at what outputs in the script down there. By the way, could that be used to make waves or something? It could actually, we could try and make our own custom wave system that isn't too like complicated, that isn't too in depth. Um, I'm definitely down to try that out, to be honest. Now, I've just remembered that maybe our code works, but we actually had it crash somewhere else, so I'll be fixing it right now actually. Creating at least one set, let's put that in our set folder. There we go, we have our first prefab. Amazing. Now if we go into here, we put it down there. Why is it not working? Did our previous piece, I think our previous pieces add a piece to it. Okay, so here it is. You have to add the piece component. Hit apply. We can remove it. Let's go back, add the set one, and we are actually ready to go. Okay, so it did work. It did work. We just end up with something that gives you a headache because it's too fast. And also the length on these things were not right at all. So we're looking at a Unity plane. Unity plane usually have, if we head here, Unity plane, I think they're 10 in length. Yeah, they're 10 in length. And also we'll have a small offset of say -5 here. Cool. So on every single one of these, I want to be putting, actually here, I want to be putting 10 in length. Then hit save. Hey, but good news, it actually worked. So we know that this is going to work. It's just, as you can tell, a little bit too fast. We can actually slow it down quite good. Let's head over here. Let's do private float, water speed. It should be smaller than that actually. Water speed X. These value, I feel like we're going to be moving them later on, but right now we'll leave them here, and I'll be putting them on public along with the material. So let's bump them back up right here and change our value directly. So that's water speed X, and that is water speed Y. X has to be, that's good. That's both good actually. Something like that. Cool. Let's give this a final look at. It's a lot better. Could, you know, of course it takes a lot more work, but if we just go real quick, I'm going to be putting my sets down and rotating these plane around like so. So we're back on 0 rotation, hit apply, and they're actually going to be coming in the other direction. I don't know if it's actually good. It's actually awful. Yeah, you should reverse the movements. The waves go outside the direction. That's exactly what I tried to do here, but I just realized that I was not taking it the right way. Let's put that back on what it was, 180 here. Oops, you don't change it here, you change it on the planes themselves. There we go. Hit apply, and now we're gonna go right there and do a minus water speed in Y. You could do it times delta time on it. It's still super fast. The thing is, you don't really need to do it time to delta time since this is client side and it doesn't really affect the gameplay. So this could be slower, this could also be slower. And here we go, boys. We have not reset our values. Hit reset component. Oops, not remove, reset. There we go. So that's reset. Size 1, put my set back in here. And the water, okay. So since we didn't reset, we also lost a reference to the material. Let's put the material back in here. And we are now ready to appreciate those waves. Quality waves. It does need some bumps. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it needs some bumps. Right now it looks awful to me. We could also make it quite smaller if we go right on the material while it's playing. It doesn't matter, since you're modifying a material that's on the GPU, you can actually modify it while the game is playing. What if we do 0.5 on this thing? It's too big? Yep, it is too big. What if we do 2? Still too small. 3? That could do the work, assuming that we go a lot faster in Y. That's gonna do the work for now. Cool. And we're gonna be speeding up the Y a little bit, so I'm actually gonna be modifying it through the values I have right there. Okay, let's go with -0.4. Why is the position? The position is changing because we are constantly updating the offset of the texture using this line of code right here. We set the texture offset. Isn't it moving in the opposite direction? We'll find out eventually, guys. We'll find out. But I'll be using this right here. Maybe not even have like any X. Maybe this is cool. Yeah, this is actually a lot better. We're not using the speed X anymore. Put that on 0. Now, I'm going to be saving this. Let's head back into the scene, the game scene. Find our level manager, and we have to set the same value. So let's find a wave in here. Let's find. Let's actually put that on 0. Put that on a little bit faster. This only has 1, and sets isn't here. Cool. Looks a little bit better. Just a little bit. Needs a lot of work. But hey. I also feel like we're not centered at all for some reason. Oh, and we need to remove stuff. Yeah, we need to remove stuff behind us. Okay, so let's find out why is this thing not centered, actually. That's our backflip boat. Yeah, boy. This is how we go about it. This is perfect thumbnail right there. I think I'll just save this for the thumbnail of this thing. Or we'll put a little bit more work before I do any thumbnail saving. Okay. Feel like we need to go in our level manager, increase the size, our view distance. So distance before spawn, let's actually do 50. So we see beyond the point we saw earlier. So 50 has to be around here, I guess. Yeah, okay. Might need a little bit more again. So 75. Rather than having 3 across, wouldn't 1 scaled 311 be better? Yes, I believe it would. We could actually do that. That's not a backflip, it's a front flip. That's also a good point. That is a front flip. But at the same time, like, depending on where our cannons are going to be located, it's all going to change. So if our cannons are in the back, then yeah, we're doing a front flip, that's fine. If our cannons are in the front, that's weird. Also, we got to do something about this thing here when we go back to when we do a fast fall. We'll have to fix that, of course. Now I need to find out why the sets are wrong. So if I just like put one set down, here it is. We had somebody in the chat commenting that it might be better if we actually just add only one plane. So I'm gonna go with that idea. It's a good idea actually. So let's have only one plane. That's gonna be, we'll call it the floor. That's a good name. And we scale it 3. Now on the tiling, we can put that on 9. And here we go. We only have one texture, but the tiling is a little bit different. So, I got a question. If you were to publish to Android, does Unity automatically adjust the screen size? No, it does not. Everything has to be covered by you. Right now, we're making a game that is actually perfect for portrait, but if we want to go like for landscape, we have to make something in our code that doesn't make this happen, because that's how it's going to look on a device right now, on a, say, iPad device. But we're building this for portrait, so we are doing quite well here. And we just change our set like this. Okay, now we're in the center. I'd like to create some fog, just so I can actually not see that annoying thing in the back. I see the thing spawning and it's annoying me a bit. So we are gonna go right on the window, I think, lighting settings, and we already got rid of the skybox. I don't like skybox, but you know, we got rid of it. Oh, we can have a wave skybox and have the texture offset on it. Let's see that. Isn't that trippy? That's like super trippy. Yeah, you know what? This is gonna give me a headache. I like it. This is a little bit too much though. Remove this. Yep. Really trippy stuff. I was gonna go for some fog right here. So if I go down here, we have the other settings, fog. Let's activate it and put it on some color we already use. So I'll use 3090 F0. That's like my go-to color, and we can increment the density a little bit. 602. We can have a linear fog. Is it good to have? Oh, exponential is better. Okay, something like that is gonna work. Now it really all depends. Like the color you put in here really all depends on what kind of skybox you have. In my case, I don't have a skybox right now, so we can't even have a look at it. But if you go for something that is like, if I put the wave back on, you can't even tell they're there because of the fog now. But if I reduce the intensity a little bit, you should be able to see them under. Yeah, it's really all a matter of just playing with the density and the skybox. But I'm gonna go back and actually put it on a default material. Any material is gonna do in this case, actually. Default diffuse, default material. Let's put that. The skybox is gonna be on default material. Good stuff. And what else do we need? Everything else is not going to be lit, so can leave it on that. Density, is that too dense? That's very dense. How about a space skybox? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to find out what we like better. I'll stick with 0.02 for density right now, and that gives us a really weird stuff in the back. What is this thing? That is definitely just out of the default material. But hey, anyway, did it not save? I'm really annoyed now. It's supposed to save. Headache stuff right there, boys. So we said 0.02 with the fog. Has to be activated first, and the color I was using was my go-to color, 3090 and F0. Good stuff. Material was a default material. Yeah, default material. Nice. So here we go. We have something that looks seamless now. We still have the front flip. We still have the sides. We need bumps in this thing, that's for sure. But hey, it goes on forever. So that's the other problem we have. it goes on forever. We need to get rid of it as soon as possible. Now we always do instantiate on these things, and we should actually be doing a pooling. Yeah, you're right, we should be doing a pooling. Let's see. I'm gonna read a little bit of comments real quick. I feel like I've been focused on the game, not really on the comment this time. But I'll catch up, guys. I'll catch up. Let's see if there's any one. He's fixing it. Okay, you are the best. Cool, thanks. Waterworld Surfer. That sounds accurate. If you're always gonna have water visible, you can also have it as a single one that never has to be reinstantiated. Yeah, that's also a good point. We could only have like one big water texture and that one moves on its own. That's actually how we should have been doing it. You have a very good point. You see the level manager game object creating clone constantly? No, that's not a good thing at all. We need to actually start pulling these. How to drugs, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some pooling. Since we're gonna have like different kind of sets, though, it's gonna be a little bit complicated to do pooling at the moment. I'd like to see what kind of objects we're gonna end up with first. I'll keep the pooling for next week, I think. And just like you pointed out in description, we are going, not description, sorry, on the comments, we're gonna get rid of the floor. Like instead of having multiple pieces spawn like that, we're only gonna have one frame, not one frame, but one plane. So it's not gonna be part of the sets. We are going to have a empty object that's going to be the water floor or water plane, because that's not the floor actually. And where's our mesh? Oh, it's not an empty, it's a plane. I need a plane. Also, since we're all about optimizing right now, get rid of the mesh collider, put a box collider on it. It's the cheapest collider you can actually use after the sphere. So we'll be using a box collider and then put our material on it. Where is the material? Here it is. Cool. Now this thing has to be big. Has to be, say, let's do not 50. 50 is too big. 30 is also too big. Let's do 15. Or 10 even. Yeah, 10 is good. Then we just bring it back towards the player. And we end up with almost the same result. Maybe bump the size up to 5. And this is what we currently end up with. Of course, it doesn't look good at the moment. But we need to go ahead and fix our tiling. So, what if we do... I actually like those big waves. Let's do 1 or -1 on this thing. I like those big waves. That's actually cool. Okay, assuming that we got rid of the other thing in the background, the set number 1, I'll get rid of the floor. Or actually, take this thing, get rid of the floor, continue, and save the prefab. It's empty, doesn't do anything, don't care. There we go. So big waves are cool. We can go ahead and play with it. Maybe 1.5 would be better. In terms of the y-axis, I think we're also good on the y-axis, aren't we? Oh, dude, that is pretty cool, actually. 1.5 minus 10 is going to be my go-to. Now, in terms of speed, (0.01), so we move a little bit on the x-axis. Just a little bit like this is fine. And okay, these values are going to be good for me. Paste it. Alright, we have something like that. It's a little bit trippy. It always goes in one side, and that's like this is better. Tushar is asking, why are the waves going forward? The waves are going forward because we're actually changing the offset at all time. Again, we are using this very line right here. We have a reference to the material, then we do a set texture offset of our main texture, then we just increment the vector 2 that uses the offset. So if you have a look like right here, the operation is actually happening in the inspector on the right hand side where my cursor is right now. It's actually just bumping that number up, and you can actually bring it back down if you want, and it keeps on scrolling like this. The only reason it doesn't look bad is because our texture is seamless. So on both axes, it doesn't matter if we have an offset on it. Like we put an offset, and it's still the same texture. It's actually connected. Okay, so back in the game, what were we trying to do before I got a little lost here? We were trying to create sets. Okay. Yes, the level is going to be randomly generated using these sets right here. That's our first one. It is empty and boring right now. We have to figure out how big is the lane. How big is the lane actually? Lane distance is 3, so we have one at 0, -3, and 3. Technically, I could go ahead and do something like empty set, and I'll just put 10 for distance. So that's going to be empty set 10. That's our very first set. We'll create a new one. Upstack left. Yeah, obstacle left and right, say. That's going to have a distance of 5. Should the wave be the other way? It doesn't really matter. We'll find out eventually when we're more about making the game look good. Right now I'd like to create some obstacles. So I have obstacles. By the way I named this, I want to have a piece that is 5 in length and that has obstacle left and right. Oh, and I just override my last one, so that's bad. Let me put that back. I want to be drag and dropping this thing here. So my previous object has nothing and has a length of 10. This one has a length of 10 and it should have object in it. So if I go in my artwork folder, I find actually the prefab folder, yeah, I find the sticks. We're gonna have sticks at -3. They are too big. They are a lot too big actually. How do I go about scaling this thing down? Oh, I have some scaling issues again. That sucks. Okay, so we'll create an empty game object. That's going to be our container. That's going to be sticks, and that's going to be the mesh. And I put the mesh under sticks. Make sure everything is back on 0, and now I actually do scaling the way I want it to be, but on the mesh. Oh, we still have an offset, so I'm kind of annoyed, to be honest. Where is my 0, 0, 0? So center of the world is here. I have to put it right there. When you make your meshes in whatever it is, like Blender, 3ds Max, or Maya, always make sure your pivot are directly in the center of the world, else you're gonna have to do a lot of weird stuff in Unity to make it work. Okay, so we end up with something like this. Hopefully this is actually meters, so that would be about 0.3 meters in length. And I'm going to override the sticks and put it at 3. Oops. Okay. Ow. I missed it. Okay, so it has to be bigger. A lot bigger. Something like that. That's actually 0.3. Save it. save sticks, and now we're gonna save obstacle right and left. -3. Cool. Let's go under level, add a new set to this thing, and add the empty set, also add the obstacle left and right. See if we can get anything to work here. It seems to work. Sometimes we have the empty set, sometimes we have the obstacle left and right. So technically should work. If we head into our game, we have the same values right here, so put the obstacle left and right. Let's see how it looks. Something like that. Okay, so that's fine. Now obviously there's no collision, there's no depth detection, there's like none of that, but at least our things are spawning properly. Of course the waves, we have to do something about the waves, but we start to have something actually, and I start enjoying making this game a lot more since we have art. One thing you could add if you want it to look like more than sets, add some randomization of the objects. That is definitely something we want to be doing in the end, so it looks so it doesn't look all pre-generated. So it's definitely something we're going to be doing in the future, but right now I think we've done enough for today. We're approaching the 2-hour mark again. So guys, this is actually where I am going to be ending today's stream. I'm gonna go play some games. I'm gonna go play some games really soon, and that's actually it. So thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be continuing this on the next Saturday. Also tomorrow we have a fun day Sunday live stream where we just we are creating a third-person character controller there. So we'll just find out what we do tomorrow. But right now, that's where we're going to be ending up. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be in Discord answering some questions while I play some games. You can hit me up there, and that's it. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow or next Saturday. Peace.